Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Shamak from the Great Millstone Cleveland branch. I want to start off by, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kapadash, Mashanakabah, Lahazukoyim, Shalgador, Wakab, giving double honors to the apostles. Shalom to everybody tuning in, listening, and learning. And just getting right to it. I want to start off with the book of Romans, chapter 7, because we're going to be going into, how sin is within us, man. And we can't be sitting up here telling ourselves that we don't sin, that we don't go off. We can't be thinking that we keeping the law 100% when we not, because we in the flesh. And we're going to get a couple of precepts. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7. I'm going to get straight to the point, which is verse 17. It says, "Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me." Let me start out verse 15. "For that which I do, I allow not." Right, so, man, you sitting up here, and you might be, I'm going to use an example. You're not supposed to buy on the Shabbat. So you probably not going, you trying to keep the law 100%, you not going to allow yourself to buy on the Shabbat. But if you hungry, what you going to do? So it's like we not allowing it, but it's like through this flesh and through the way of this world, we it just has, some things, sometimes it just, you just do it. It says, "For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not." Right? You'd rather not buy on the Shabbat, period. Right? Or another example, you'd rather not, you know what I'm saying? What's another example? I'm just saying anything like lust after another man's wife or something, but here it is, his wife is a stripper. You know what I'm saying? I'm using examples, but it says, "For what I would that I do, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do," right? So what you hate, that's what you're doing. And this is concerning like trying to keep the law. Verse 16, it says, "If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good." And reading in the NLT, it says, "But if I know that what I am doing is wrong, this shows that I agree that the law is good." It says on verse 17 in the KJV, "Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me." Right, so we got sin that dwell in us, man. That's causing us to go off, even to the constraints that we didn't want to go off, man. Brothers got times where they go off and they probably didn't even want to commit that sin. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing." It ain't nothing good in the flesh. All the flesh want to do is, iniquity, man. Go off and, do wicked. But we trying to keep the flesh constraint through this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and through the fear of the Lord to the best of our ability. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing." Right? So he ain't saying in the spirit, because the scripture tell you that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It says, "Dwelleth no good in the flesh, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not." So basically he's saying he want to do what's right, but he can't. That's the torment of being in this flesh. If we would, we'd be perfect. If we could, we'd be perfect. But we ain't gonna be perfect until we get them immortal bodies. That's the whole, that's why we gotta continue to fight for this flesh. Fight against this flesh, because that's the only way that we can receive it. It says, "For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do." Right, and we gonna go to the next precept. Because if you sitting up here saying that you ain't got no sin, when we suffer in the flesh every day, that's a lie, man. That's a lie. This is the book of 1 John chapter 1 at verse 8. It says, "If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us." Right? So you deceiving yourself, man. We definitely go off, pretty much every day. The flesh wants to do something that's off, and this world basically coincides with the flesh. This is the book of Luke chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, "Two men went up into the temple to pray, the one Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are." Right, so he's being proud and boasting himself in the midst of the Lord. "Extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican." Right, even boasting himself over the next man that's getting ready to pray in the temple. "I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess." And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Yahweh, be merciful to me, a sinner. Right, so he declared himself a sinner before the Lord. "I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other." Right, so this publican was more justified than the Pharisee. And he, as you see in this verse 13, he ain't do no boasting, you know what I'm saying, or no, praising himself, mentioning of what he does. He told the Lord be merciful to him, as knowing that he's a sinner. He transgressed the Lord. He transgressed the law. It says, I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right, like the scriptures say, "Humble thyself, and the Lord will exalt you in due time, in due season." I'm paraphrasing. All right, so we ain't supposed to be all boasting ourselves as if we don't, go off and we just do everything perfectly. Because the scripture tell you that the law is perfect. But, we ain't able to be perfect because we can't keep the law perfectly until we get them immortal bodies. But until then, we got to continue to fight this flesh and do it to the best of our ability and ask for mercy from the Lord. Well, I'm going to close it right there. Lord's willing, this was edifying. To Wadi Yahweh, forgive me the spirit through the lesson. To this, I'm going to say shalom.